Let's learn more on the periods of the trig functions. Let's take a function which is of the form a times a of theta plus b times b of theta. An example of this would be, say, 2 sine 2x plus 3 cos 5x or something like that. So if you have two terms here, say the period for each term, the period for a of theta is alpha 1 and period for b of theta is alpha 2. Then the period for this function f of theta, this whole function, is equal to least common multiple, which is least common multiple, or called LCM, of alpha 1 and alpha 2. So for example, for this question here, the period for sine 2x is actually 2 pi over 2 is pi, and the period for cos 4x is 2 pi by 4 is pi by 2. So what is the LCM of pi and pi by 2? It's actually pi. So the whole period of this whole function is actually pi. Similarly, if you have another function, say f of theta is equal to a times a of theta plus b times b of theta plus, say, c times c of theta over p times p of theta plus q times q of theta plus r times r of theta. So these are actually different functions, like sine x or sine theta, cos 4 theta, tan 2 theta, something like that. Or this could be same as this, which is sine theta and sine theta, probably cos 2 theta and cos, something like that. Then if each of them have a period, say alpha 1 and alpha 2, alpha 3, this is alpha 4, alpha 5 and alpha 6, meaning the period for a of theta is alpha 1, period for b of theta is alpha 2, period for c of theta is alpha 3, and so on. Then the period for the whole function here, which is f of theta, so the period of f of theta would be the LCM, which is the least common factor or multiple, least common multiple of all 6 periods, which is alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, alpha 4, alpha 5 and alpha 6. So this would be the period for the whole function here. Say there is a minus here, doesn't matter. It could be a plus or minus, plus or minus, plus or minus, plus or minus. It could be like 20 functions, doesn't matter. And if you know, like, the period for each one of them is just LCM of the periods of how many ever functions you have in this whole function. And say if one of these functions is like a square function or a cube function, like sine cube theta or cos cube theta, then you need to convert these cubes into single power, maybe like sine 3 theta and sine theta. And similarly, if you have cos power 4 theta, you need to convert the cos power 4 theta first to cos square theta, and then to cos square 2 theta, and then probably to cos 4 theta, something like that, and then find the period of that. So you find the period of this, and then find the LCM of that. So first you need to convert all the squares to the normal or powers of 1, and then find the LCM of all the periods of them, and that's the period of the whole function here.